Based on true events. A mystery that blurred the lines between reality, urban legend, and tragedy. Welcome to a story that has fascinated, disturbed, and haunted millions around the world. In the heart of downtown Los Angeles stands the infamous Cecil Hotel, a place with a past so dark, it almost defies belief. It's been linked to murderers, suicides, and unexplained deaths. But none captured global attention quite like the disappearance and tragic death of 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam in 2013. This isn't just a case. It's a web of unanswered questions, unsettling footage, and a setting that seems to have a life of its own. This is The Haunting of the Cecil Hotel, the Elisa Lam case revisited. The Cecil Hotel opened its doors in 1927, envisioned as a luxury destination for business travelers. With an ornate marble lobby, stained glass windows, and 700 guest rooms, it was built to impress. But the Great Depression hit shortly after, and the area around it, now known as Skid Row, fell into economic despair. What followed was a long descent into notoriety. Over the decades, the hotel became a hotspot for violence, crime, and death. Its location made it accessible to transient populations, many of whom struggled with poverty, addiction, and mental illness. It was home, if only temporarily, to serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and reportedly Jack Unterweger, an Austrian journalist who murdered sex workers while staying there. Countless suicides took place within its walls, earning it the nickname, Hotel Death. Guests often checked in and never checked out. Stories of odd behavior, mysterious noises, and shadowy figures in the hallways became part of its legend. And in 2013, its reputation took a new turn, with a case that would captivate the internet age. Who was Elisa Lam? Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada. Bright, curious, and deeply introspective, she was taking a solo trip along the west coast of the United States, a journey she described online as a way to explore, learn, and reflect. She documented her travels on Tumblr, posting photos, thoughts, and reflections on her journey. She wrote with candor about her emotions, insecurities, and observations, creating a digital journal that felt intimate and vulnerable. Like many young people, Elisa struggled with mental health. She had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, but her family said she was managing it well with medication and treatment. She was careful about her health and had no history of dangerous behavior while traveling. On January 26, 2013, she checked into the Cecil Hotel. She was supposed to stay only a few nights. She never checked out. Elisa was last seen on January 31. Hotel staff reported seeing her alone. Her daily contact with her family suddenly stopped, and soon, a missing person report was filed. LAPD began their investigation. The hotel was searched, but there were no signs of a struggle, and no clear leads. The search included common areas, hallways, and her personal belongings, left untouched in her room. Surveillance was reviewed. Nothing pointed to foul play. Days turned into weeks, and public interest was minimal. But what came next would change that forever. On February 14, LAPD released surveillance footage of Elisa in one of the hotel elevators. The video quickly went viral. In the footage, Elisa appears disoriented, pressing multiple buttons, peeking into the hallway, hiding in the corner, stepping in and out, as if she's being followed, or afraid of something unseen. She makes hand gestures, moves erratically, and seems to be in distress. The elevator doors stay open unnaturally long, adding to the unease. Her movements were erratic and unsettling. Conspiracy theories exploded across the internet. Was she hallucinating? Being chased? Playing a game? Was this paranormal? The footage only deepened the mystery, and cemented the case in pop culture. On February 19, nearly 3 weeks after Elisa vanished, hotel guests began complaining about the water pressure. Some described a strange taste. Maintenance workers went to inspect the rooftop water tanks, and that's where they found Elisa's body, naked, floating inside a sealed tank. Her clothes were nearby. There was no sign of trauma or assault. Toxicology reports were inconclusive but noted the presence of some of her prescribed medication, though not all. Her death was ruled an accidental drowning, influenced by her bipolar disorder, but many found that hard to accept. How did Elisa access the roof? The door was supposed to be locked and alarmed. How did she open a heavy tank lid and close it behind her? Why wasn't she found sooner? If the tanks were searched, theories began to emerge. Was someone else involved? Could she have been let onto the roof by hotel staff, or followed? And then there were the strange coincidences, a tuberculosis outbreak on Skid Row during her disappearance, the test being called Elisa. A horror movie with similar scenes, released years prior, facts blurred with fiction. The internet spun endless theories, some rooted in truth, others in fear. As the case gained momentum online, amateur sleuths began digging into Elisa's online presence, retracing her steps, questioning the investigation. Forums lit up with speculation. Some believed in cover-ups. Others thought supernatural forces were at play. A few pointed fingers at innocent bystanders caught up in viral suspicion. Netflix's 2021 docuseries reignited the conversation but also faced criticism for sensationalizing her story. It raised awareness but also resurfaced trauma for those close to Elisa. Elisa became a symbol of something larger, a cautionary tale about mental illness, digital voyeurism, and the danger of turning tragedy into entertainment. In the years since Elisa's death, the Cecil Hotel has become a dark landmark in Los Angeles. Tourists photograph its exterior. True crime fans post videos online. Ghost hunters seek answers. In 2017, it was closed for renovations and rebranded as Stay on Main in an effort to erase the past, but the legacy lingered. In 2021, it was designated a historic cultural monument. Today, it stands largely empty, a towering symbol of unanswered questions and urban legend. Efforts to reopen as affordable housing are ongoing, but no guests have stayed in years. The building remains a relic of tragedy and fascination. Today, the Cecil Hotel stands closed to guests, renamed and rebranded, but its history lingers. The mystery of Elisa Lam remains a painful reminder of how little we sometimes understand about the human mind, and how quickly a story can spiral out of control when darkness, speculation, and the internet collide. Elisa was more than a viral video. More than a mystery. She was a daughter, a traveler, a young woman trying to find herself in a big world. May her memory be honored not through fear, but through empathy. Let us not reduce her to a headline or an algorithm, but remember her as a human being, curious, complex, and deeply real. Thank you for watching.